How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Ruffle and welcome back to a brand new video, guys. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the top 10 Pokemon that should get evolutions in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, this is going to be quite an interesting video because we actually do know for a fact that, for example, Farfetch'd is going to be getting an evolution called Surfetch'd, which was confirmed by a leak that confirmed that alongside a lot of other stuff. So, the possibility of these things actually happening, we actually getting a lot of Pokemon that do get brand new evolutions, is like super possible, man. Like, there's a lot of possibility here. So, this video is actually going to be a lot more, like, you know, realistic than we've done in the past. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you enjoyed the video though, drop a like on it, make sure to subscribe, and suggest future top 10 videos you guys want to see, maybe even a part 2 to this video. If you want to see a part 2, do hashtag Pokemon Evolution in the comment section down below, and we may even do a follow-up video to this one. But either way, let's get started with number 10. So kicking off at number 10 is going to be Luvdisc. Now, Luvdisc really deserves to get an evolution. This Pokemon has always been kind of forgotten and left behind, and it never really made any sense why they didn't give Alomomola as a kind of evolution to it. Like, that really never made any sense to me or to most people as to why they just wouldn't have given that as an evolution to Luvdisc, but they never did. So I feel like Luvdisc finally deserves to get some love, man. Like, even though this Pokemon is just kind of left behind, it's just a little floating, like, fish heart, essentially. It's adorable, but it just gets so forgotten, man. Like, nobody really pays attention to it, and nobody really cares for it that much, and I really feel like it's time for this Pokemon to shine and get some of itself in that limelight for once, because it really deserves to be there, man. So Luvdisc definitely deserves an evolution, and there's a lot of possibilities for what they can do for it. They can expand upon its body, add like several more hearts to it, or even do like a thing where they have like a bunch of Luvdiscs, like, you know, swimming in a herd, so that could even work. But yeah, that's definitely a Pokemon that deserves some love. Next up, of course, is going to be Dunsparce. Now, Dunsparce is a Pokemon that I just love. Dunsparce is just so strange, man. This Pokemon really needs to get an evolution because it's just been so stuck ever since it was first shown off. Like, nothing seems to be happening with Dunsparce, man. I've even tried to do a Emerald Dunsparce only run, and that was pretty fun, but this Pokemon really deserves to get an evolution that turns it into just like flying beast of a dragon. There's even some designs here on the screen you might see. I'm gonna pop up here so you guys can see what it kind of could look like. Just expanded wingspan, larger, almost like a serpent-like thing going for it would be really cool. But overall though, Dunsparce really deserves to get an evolution finally, man, because this Pokemon is genuinely one of the most forgotten things ever when it comes to actually getting an evolution, and it finally deserves to get one, I feel like, at this point, because it's kind of like time is right at this point for it to get some evolutions for it. But yeah, that's definitely that one. So let's go to the next one. So coming in number 8 is going to be Emolga. Now, I know Emolga is one of those, like, electric type Pokemon that's kind of like, you know, the kind of like Pikachu clone that you usually get per, like, generation. But I feel like this Pokemon really, like, should be able to get a pretty proper evolution, if I'm going to be honest. There are some, like, really good options for it out there and what it could be like, and, you know, you can expand upon it, because it's kind of like, you know, a flying squirrel and whatnot. That kind of like what it's meant to look like, I guess, or whatever. And it just, there's a lot of possibilities, man. There's a lot of possibilities of what you can do. You can change a little bit of its colors, add more to it, change its wingspan, change its, like, you know, maybe even like expand its tail in a different way. Like, there's a lot of possibilities with this thing, but again, a Pokemon that just seems to be a lot for, like, in general, really forgotten, doesn't really get that much love, and I feel like it could definitely look cool with an actual evolution though. Next up is going to be Shuckle. Yes, okay, so here's the thing with Shuckle, right? This Pokemon is kind of insane in some senses, right? But imagine if it got an evolution. Now, of course, there's a high potential, right, that this Pokemon could get a Gigantamaxed form in Pokemon Sword and Shield. There's high potential for that, right? There's always a possibility, right? But here's the thing, though. Shuckle, to me, has been this Pokemon that I always remember fondly because of, like, the blue Shuckle in one of the episodes back in there. I think it was, like, during the Johto part of the series, and I remember that part always so fondly in my head, like, that part of the journey, and I always remember Shuckle for that reason, and I always thought about, like, the fact that, like, why doesn't Shuckle get more love? Why doesn't Shuckle get an evolution? And imagine if we got a Shuckle that maybe had, like, more of these, like, holes in its body, like, to shoot out of from, or, like, maybe even, like, you know, like, more of these kind of, like, weird, like these body parts, like, yellow and whatnot, like, sticking out of those, and it can use those to, like, just, you know, entrap people and whatnot. Like, there's a lot of possibilities for Shuckle with another evolution and what could happen to it and what it could do. Like, honestly, there's a lot of possibilities. The question, though, is how can they pull it off, and will they pull it off, and would it be worth it for them to do an evolution for Shuckle in particular? Because I know it isn't the most popular Pokemon in the world, but I do think it's a Pokemon that deserves to get more love and actually get an evolution, in my opinion. So yeah, that's that one. Let's get to the next one on the list. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Taurus, and oh boy, okay, so Taurus is a type of Pokemon that I think more or less deserves to get an actual pre-evolution, more than an actual evolution, I think. I could probably see that, because honestly, Taurus is such a strange Pokemon, and it's kind of weird that it never really, you know, got expanded upon. I feel like it definitely is a Pokemon that could have been done much more with, you know what I mean? You could have made it larger, you could have given it more like, you know, like extended horns, made it larger and bigger, more tails and whatnot. Like a pretty easy Pokemon to give an evolution to, honestly. Like, not that difficult, I feel like. Just give it extra tails, give it longer horns, you know, add something to its face. It just doesn't seem like it's that hard to do one. And I feel like it's a Pokemon that just like, hey man, you know, why not, dude? Taurus is just such a, I don't know, such a strange Pokemon to me. I love it, but also at the same time, like, it just, nobody ever really talks about Taurus unless it's like about how Ash caught like 43 of them or something in like the Safari Zone. Besides that, like, nobody really talks about this Pokemon. It's always just kind of like left in, you know, outside the limelight. I mean, compared to like Pokemon like Charizard and whatnot, of course it is, but you know what I mean? Like, I just feel like, man, it could really work with an evolution. And next up is everybody's favorite Pokemon, Ferret. And ladies and gentlemen, this Pokemon, oh boy, I am so up for Ferret getting an actual evolution though. Like, genuinely, this is the one Pokemon that I pray gets an actual evolution though. Like, honestly, I pray this Pokemon gets an evolution because it genuinely could work so well with an actual evolution to it. Like, just think about the possibilities. Just the possibilities, ladies and gentlemen, for this Pokemon. It could be amazing. The only thing, though, that's a problem with Ferret, though, is the fact that, I mean, it just kind of already has, you know, just kind of this kind of, like, thing going for it, right? It's already got, like, a thing going for it, but I feel like it would be great with an evolution. I think something like this design here on the screen could actually work. Like, this is a mega design for it, but I think this is kind of what would look cool. Instead of having, like, you know, Ferret's, like, in itself, it's kind of like a meme Pokemon. It's like a literal meme. But imagine if Ferret wasn't just a meme, but also was, like, this fierce Pokemon once it gets its, like, third evolution or whatever, or, like, third stage, right? That would be, like, honestly so freaking cool. I think that would genuinely be one of the coolest things ever they could pull off, but it's all up to them and what Game Freak wants to do, of course, so, you know, we just gotta wait and see what they want to go with, and that's about it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, next up is going to be Combi, and I'm talking about specifically a male Combi evolution, because, ladies and gentlemen, Combi needs to get a male evolution. Come on, man. People have been asking for this for ages. It really needs one. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of male Combis that need to be turned into evolved forms of themselves, and it's kind of hard when, you know, you got the female one, which makes it kind of hard for you, but I get the point, though, right? Like, Combi is meant to be, like, a little beast, right, and whatnot, and if they're female, they're, of course, you know, the queens and whatnot, but, man, we need a king as well, because it makes it really difficult for all the other bees who want to evolve, but instead to be stuck in their Combi form, all happy and, you know, three-faced and shit, which, yeah, cool, but we want an evolution, okay? We want to evolve, ladies and gentlemen. I think it's finally time to give Combi a male evolution, just so we can get that Pokemon some bloody help, because honestly, I feel like being stuck as a Combi forever might be a little bit of a disaster for them. But yeah, I think a male Combi evolution would be great. I mean, honestly, in terms of design, anything really works. I mean, you got Vespiquen to go off of, so you don't even really need much of a guideline. I just look at Vespiquen, make that, but male. It isn't that hard, honestly. Vespiquen is amazing. It's one of the coolest Pokemon ever. So just take that, make a male version of that, and you're Gucci. And I think that's definitely a Pokemon that we do need. So yeah, that's that one. Let's get to the next one on the list, ladies and gentlemen. So next up is going to be Hawlucha. Now, the thing, though, is Hawlucha in itself is already kind of perfect, you know what I mean? Like, it's already kind of a perfect Pokemon in itself. It doesn't really need much of an evolution, but I think, like, if you did give it an evolution, it could look pretty good, honestly. Like, expanding its, like, you know, like, just general features and whatnot, making it look a little bit larger. It definitely could work, but I just think it's one of those Pokemon that I really just want to get an evolution for, but I don't think there's really any inherent reasoning behind that, like, you know, to being like, you know, oh, it really, like, needs this or that to change on it. It's already a perfect Pokemon in itself. I just think it's a Pokemon that could work really well with another evolution on it, so that's really that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and coming in at number 2 is going to be Sandslash. And okay, Sandslash got some love last gen with Alolan Sandslash and Alolan Sandshrew, of course, so that's already been given. We know that. I know it. Okay, I get it. It's already gotten some love. I understand. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to get more love, okay? I want to get more and more adoration. And I think if you give Sandslash like a larger, more like skinny version of it, that could look pretty darn cool. Like, I could imagine that be looking pretty badass. Of course, it's mainly just a Pokemon that's on this list because I just love Sandshrew and Sandslash, so that's really all I can say about it. I'm sorry, but that's the reasoning, guys. But yeah, that's that one. Let's get to the final one on the list. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, number 1, we have ourselves Druddigon. I think Druddigon is a Pokemon that it's always just kind of like on the sideline, right? And it's a Pokemon that I think would work way more with like a pre-evolution, if anything. I think a pre-evolution would be way better for it than an actual evolution, but I feel like it's one of those one-stage Pokemon that like just really could look better if it got an evolution or even a pre-evolution. Either one of those could work for it, and it's just a forgotten Pokemon, man. Like, I think it really deserves to get some love. Again, like, this is one of many Pokemon that just seems to be left behind by a Game Freak that really just deserves to get a little bit more attention. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to be the end of the video, though, guys. If you did enjoy it, then drop a like down below. Make sure to subscribe for future videos. Have yourselves a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let me know in the comment section down below, what are some Pokemon you guys think deserve to get evolutions? Let me know in the comments. Have yourselves a great day, and bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen.